Hi and good afternoon. We are Team Enfold and we are presenting a proposal for the RIVERTREE Academy project. The main mission of RIVERTREE Academy is to educate under-resourced students to live well by following Jesus and thriving academically. And the main focus of this organization is on 4 concepts: learn well, love well, work well, and lead well. Accordingly, we believe that all the activities and the related facilities in this project can be categorized into 2 groups: the ones which are directly associated with physical world and the ones which are directly associated with the spiritual world. And we have prepared our proposal based on this categorization. Could you please go?
Yes. So based on the site conditions, these were things to consider. Go. As you mentioned, the world axis and the spiritual axis is the 2 main parts that divide our site. And this is dividing it into a social space and a private space to the south. After that, we further divided up the zones into more specific regions based on the program needs. And that also left areas to put in the most sensible circulation areas. And go back. Note that the barn and the school and the market are grouped together in close vicinity with the farm, and this allows them to be able to be accessed by the public road on the east side of the site. And the residential is located in the south part to a private entrance in the south. Here's a more detailed conceptual site plan showing that the close relationship between the red barn and the iconic tree that's there. So that's the concept behind the barn. Here's the east elevation diagram of the barn, which the goal of the barn, one of the design objectives was to cover over the existing building and sort of understate the existing clubhouse. And here, the barn is in a transitional style, taking motifs from traditional forms and also imposing more modern systems through the architecture of curtain walls and the modern function. So pushing and pulling on those spaces brought us to the final form we have. The school design was also considered based on the optimizing of light, getting into all of the spaces, and considering phasing, knowing how each space was going to be built. The goal for the more artistic spaces was to have them located to the east side, closest to the views for the garden that's next to it and views to the farm. Now, heading on down from school and from the barn, which is the dining facility, the students can pass by next to this lake, and beyond that lake is the chapel. So the barn is the center iconic building, but this is the crown of the site. And it was based upon a plan that is a heptagon, 7 sides being a symbol of wholeness and holiness. And taking a motif from a traditional form of the house with the gabled roofs, and finally the crown representing Christ, that is where we arrived at this form. So this is a symbol, beautiful for a venue space, but is also something students will pass by twice a day as they go to school and as they come home, which will serve as a visual reminder of who they are as royalty, sons and daughters in Christ. So the houses too are very exciting. Biggest consideration for these, not only that 8 students need to live in them with 2 house parents, but that they should be built to optimize buildability. So it's modular to avoid 0 building cost waste, as well as lowering the energy costs based on the sun angles. These can also achieve net zero with the investment of 27 solar panels on each roof, both for the staff housing and for the student housing. And this allows these buildings to not take more energy from the site, as utilities are expensive. We arrived at the stacked form because will save on energy costs. And another icon for the building is the fact that there's a fireplace in each home. So this is a central element as soon as you walk in the door for the students to see and to experience a family setting. Another thing to mention about the form of the roofs and the arrangement on the side is that these buildings will have the capacity to catch rainwater and be stored in a tank in the ground and in the roof, which will also lower water utility cost.
And this construction project will take 7 years and 8 months. It will start on 2015, August 1st, and then finish it in 2023 in April. We have divided this construction project into 3 phases. For the first phase, we will deliver the school building phase 1, 2 student residential houses with the barn. For the project phase 2, we will build the school building phase 2, the staff house, and all the residual student houses. The project phase 3, we will build the school building phase 3, the barn phase 2, and the chapel.
The video is going to demonstrate the construction process of the RIVERTREE Academy. The RIVERTREE Academy project is located in the 4th Ward area, and we provide housing and school facilities for impoverished children of Congo community. The project is developed in 3 phases in 7 years. The site logistics follow construction phasing. All site containers and material storage areas are provided and cleared for each phase subsequently. The construction method consists of a slab-on-grade as substructure system for all buildings due to the soil analysis of the region, and post-tension slab for buildings with higher load capacity and smaller foundation areas like barns and chapel. Timber structure is considered as superstructure system for all buildings since it is the most widely system to design and construct, and it is widely available in the market. The timber structure consists of steel frames to bear the loads and wooden trusses to cover the long expanses of barns and chapels. Finally, the construction sequence, for instance, for 2-story student housing is as follows. A slab on grade, first floor wooden stud frame walls, interior walls, second floor slab staircase, second floor wooden stud frames, second floor interiors, roof structures, and decking.
Okay, now let's deal with numbers. We used a Uniformat 2 classification system for our cost estimating, and we used RSMIN Assemblies 2015 as our resource. We extracted our quantity from our models. Based on level 4 level of details. Here you can see a summary of our cost estimating based on level 1 for each building. And after adding additional costs, this is our total cost of construction.
In addition to total cost of construction, there are other costs associated with this project, such as site improvements, consultant and engineering costs, and overheads and profits, as well as contingency. The total cost of development which we have estimated is just above $22 million. In regards to the next stage of delivering this project, which is activation, we propose 3 phases of activation, as mentioned by my teammates. Phase 1, the barn, the first phase of the school, and part of residential houses. Phase 2, the second phase of the school, and other residential houses. And the last phase consists of the chapel, the market, which is going to be an extension to the barn, and the third phase of the school. And the main idea of activation of this project that we're going to propose is to engage the students in the construction process in order to give them the opportunity to learn well as well as work well. The last stage of delivering this project is the operation and management of the facilities. We've estimated the total annual operating expenses based on the Whitestone operating cost reference, facilities operation cost reference, and the total cost of operation, annual operation for all these facilities is estimated to be just about $2 million. The second phase of the second section of this presentation is about the main elements of value in this project. In regards to